Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Houston Element Podcast. My name is Missy, and I am your host. And today, I have the pleasure to share the space with another local band, one of Houston's finest, garage rock band, Persuasion, alternative rock, groovy vibes, whatever you want to call it. We are here today with Dead Blinds.
Hello.
Finest, I like that.
Hello. Missy.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Living my finest moment, man.
As always.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one by one, can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Go ahead.
My name is Jason White, and I'm the drummer for Dead Blinds.
Jared Arceneaux, bass extraordinaire for Dead Blinds.
Dustin Charles. I sing and play guitar.
Pleasure to meet you all. Pleasure to meet you all.
Likewise.
Nice to meet you.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves and about your music, man. How did you all get started with Dead Blinds?
Well, we've known each other. This is actually my cousin, so I've known him his whole life. And me and Dustin have known each other for decades. But how many years? It was a couple years ago. We were actually at this party at my cousin's house. It was like a campfire party.
Birthday party for Jason.
It was your birthday. I don't even remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. But everyone was passing around the guitar. We have a lot of musician friends. And Dustin started playing some songs. And to be honest, I've known you for a long time. I didn't even know you played guitar at that point. But he played a couple of songs and I liked him. And I had stopped playing music for like 15 years. I was getting back into it. And I just walked up. I was like, hey, dude, we should start a band. And then Jason came along a little bit later. Yeah.
Me and him started playing like once a week for like a year. And I'd just go over to his house and I'd play acoustic and he'd play acoustic. And Jason was busy with his job at the time. And so we weren't really looking for a drummer. And then things changed with his job situation. So he started playing drums with us and that's how it happened.
Yeah, I was preoccupied with work. I was working as a chef in a couple of restaurants. And, you know, in that world, that pretty much you're dedicated to that kind of job. And I finally got out of that and then had free time. And that was during, I guess, all the restaurant shutdowns during COVID. And then so I had spare time and they hit me up and asked if I'd like to come jam with them. And that's sort of how I came on board.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. You're just like, hey, I like you. Come here.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, you know, he's really the only drummer we knew. So
Who would play with us?
right.
Aw.
And they're cousins, so it just worked out.
Again,
We were kind of waiting for him, but
We really kind of were.
we just, it took a little while, but finally happened.
okay, yeah. Family of drum and bass. I like that. And then you got your wonderful guitarist and vocalist here. Yeah, I mean, match made, man. Match made, man. Right on. So tell me, what is the inspiration behind the band name, the lyrics, and your music style?
Well, the name, so we had been playing together for just a few months, and then a friend of ours was putting on like a benefit concert deal. He was going to do a live stream benefit for the Houston Food Bank. So he sent me a message and asked me if I'd play some songs or whatever. And
Call out String Swap, by the way.
Oh, yeah. His company is called String Swap. So you go to stringswap.us, and they sell like strings, obviously, and then other guitar.
We just send your old strings back and they
music
recycle them
accessories.
for you.
Right. So anyways, I was like, yeah, I'll play, but I've been playing with Jason and Jared, and is it cool if we all come on? He was like, yeah, sure. So we didn't have a name at this point. We'd just been playing for a few months, and I was like, okay, I'll send you our name here. Just give me a couple weeks, because he was starting to promote it or whatever.
You break out the dry erase board and
Right. So I was like, all right, well, we got to come up with something, So I had like a list of names, and I took them to practice, and we went through them all, and it was like, no, not really. Nothing was really working, and they didn't really have any ideas. So I was like, all right, well, go home and, keep thinking about it, and then come back next week, and we'll see. And so I went home, and that week I was trying to come up with something, but wasn't having much luck. And then one night I was just hanging out on my back patio and thinking, just brainstorming, and I was looking at the blinds. So I was like, it's got to be something simple, right? You don't want a complicated name. Nobody can remember, whatever.
So you weren't thinking about poker when you came up with that?
No. So
because we all play poker together. I thought that was the inspiration.
Well, it ended up being that, but it started with the actual blinds. So I was like, okay, the blinds, and so I look it up. And,
I'm learning things in this interview too.
And that name's already taken, which I'm glad because I wouldn't want to be the blinds anyway. And so I was like, all right, I'll just sleep on it. So the next day, I was just chilling and kept brainstorming, and I started thinking about poker. And in poker, we all play poker, and I was like, okay, big blinds, small blinds, and then you have what's called a dead blind when somebody gets knocked out of a game. And I was like, the dead blinds. I was like, oh, that might work. And so I went to practice, and I was like, y'all got anything?
I think we contributed to Drop the Thee, right?
Yeah, I went to practice, and I was like, y'all got anything? They were like, no. And I was like, all right, well, I got one, maybe, see if y'all like it. And I go, the dead blinds. And nobody said anything for a few seconds, and then Jason was like, yeah, I like it. And then Jared was like, yeah, I like it, but let's drop the "the." I was like, okay. So that was it. That's how we.
This just comes full circle. Our next show, it actually says the dead blinds on the flyer.
Yeah, on the flyer they put the dead blinds on them, but whatever.
I like that, man.
And just to be clear, we did have suggestions for band names. Like Dustin said, they just weren't.
That wasn't like the only one. Yeah.
I don't remember them.
You had another one that said it was like a Modest Mouse lyric or something.
Yeah, I don't want to mention it in case it becomes like a side project.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
So we had one other potential it could have been, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I learned something new because, I played poker when I was like an early teenager, but I never knew about all the rules. So I didn't know that was a real rule,
Right.
dead blind. That's cool, man.
Yeah, like if we're playing a poker game and you get knocked out and he's big blind and I'm small blind, well, no, then it would have to be you.
If somebody gets knocked
Explain it,
out,
Dustin.
If somebody gets knocked out and they would have been the small or big blind,
Oh, either one.
then
Okay.
it's called a dead blind.
Okay.
And we just added S to it.
Okay.
So that's it.
I was just like, oh, nuts. Like, I'm not winning any money. Like,
That's how I play too.
So have you guys been playing together always, or were you ever playing with other bands before previously?
They've been in other bands.
Yeah, I started playing drums, I guess, probably when I was about 13 or so. And always just been messing around with friends. I had my friend Cody used to play bass, and we kind of had a bunch of little bands back in the day when we were teenagers, and then kind of growing up and finally got other people to join. And I guess probably like early 20s, kind of started playing actual bands where we would book shows, and we would play at, old places like the Axiom, Proletariat, Rudyard's, and just the usual spots that were around back then. The scene seemed to be a lot more alive back then, as opposed to now. I guess that's maybe because I've also just been out of it for so long. But yeah, so we played a lot back then, and then I think I got caught up in my cooking career, and then I stopped playing probably for, similar to Jared, probably like 10, 15 years. I didn't really play music at all because I was just doing nothing but working. And then it wasn't really till COVID shut down when I got connected with them again that I started kind of picking up the drums again. So that was kind of my comeback, I guess, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah, mine was a similar story. Just been in a bunch of local bands and stopped playing for a while. Shit. Can I remember them all? My first band was this punk band called Exhibit A when I was like 15. And we actually played at the Abyss back in the day, which was kind of cool. And then this band called Veiled. And then I was in this band called Drill Box Ignition with his brother. And I think that was 3.
Oh.
I filled in with a couple of bands too. I played bass with Spain Colored Orange for like one show, and I don't know. I've just always played with friends. So
Yeah, usually, like, if you ask a musician, like, how you play with previous bands, they're like, oh, God. Like, I don't even know who I played with. I know I played everywhere. Like,
Yeah, there's always friends and side projects to the side projects going on, and only some of them see the light of day, and some just get washed away to nothing.
And from a really young age, too, we grew up on the east side of town, like North Shore, and it seemed like everyone from North Shore High School was into the local music scene.
Yeah.
So we always hung out around a lot of musicians.
Mm-hmm. Have there ever been an instance where you were at a gig or at a performance where you actually, like 6 degrees of like musicians, where you ran into somebody like, I played with you, like without realizing it?
All the time.
Yeah.
A long time ago, not now.
Yeah, maybe not so much now, but definitely, everyone sort of knew each other through someone else, and, had all sort of been in the, in a band with somebody, or at least play with someone that has played with someone else. And there was always some sort of connection there.
Right on. I can imagine.
This is the first band I've ever been in. So, I didn't pick up guitar until I was in college. I started writing, I guess, in my late 20s. I kind of started writing a little bit, but, they sucked.
Oh.
At least, well, I knew
some of
they
them still do.
Yeah, not every song is going to be a hit, right? Mm-hmm. But you got to start somewhere. And so I wrote a few, didn't really share them with anybody. And then I started a new job where it was like I was home half the time, and I really didn't have a lot of time to play music. And once that job was over, I was home. Then I was home a lot, and I just started getting inspired to write more songs. And so this is probably 6 or 7 years ago. And so I started writing more. And at this point, at the party he was talking about, where I played a song, or I played some songs, before that night, only probably like a handful of people had heard me sing and play guitar. So it's not something that like I put out there, really. You know what I mean?
First live performance.
Pretty much in front of people that some people were there that I didn't know who they were. You know what I mean? But I was feeling good that night, had a few drinks, and there was stuff in the air, if you catch my drift, you know what I mean? So I was in the zone, and I had just written a song called Blue Collar, and nobody had heard it before, but I was like, screw it, I'm going to play it, because I knew it was pretty catchy. So I played it, and people liked it. So, and then that's when, I played some more songs, and he liked them. So then he started coming up with bass parts to the songs, and yeah. But yeah, I had never played with any other band before this.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I even knew that Dustin played until we went on a camping trip, like, years ago. I think it was to Colorado Bend.
Yeah.
And, it was just like 4 of us out there, my brother and his wife, and then me and Dustin, and they broke out the acoustic guitar, and then I heard him pick up, and I think he played like a Creedence song, and I was like, well, I don't know.
It's a closely guarded secret.
Yeah.
So I was kind of shocked. But
I'm real shy about, my music, or just in general, I'm a shy person. So.
And now you're a frontman for a band.
Yeah.
You come a long way.
I guess. Somebody's got to sing,
It ain't going to be me.
Can you tell us, what was it about working with these two gentlemen in particular that just felt like these are people I can have like a band family with, I can make music that I'm proud of with?
We were the only ones available.
You know what's funny about that? You were asking all the bands I've been in. Of all the bands I've been in the year, I've never been in a band with someone I don't know. Like I've always been in bands with people I've been friends with for years. And I don't know. I think there's something about playing with music with people that you know really well. You can kind of not only know what they're going to do, but you can count on them to do what you need them to do.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
And you can give honest feedback without hurting anybody's feelings and stuff like that. Because like you said, we've known each other for so many years. Like there's nothing you can say that's, hey, tell me if it sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like, as a consumer of music, I can be like, okay, I like this bassist, maybe I like this drummer, I like this vocalist, you know what I'm saying? But as a unit, there's like these bands that you're like, oh my God, they're just amazing together.
Yeah.
They're just like peanut butter and jelly. Wouldn't have it any other way. I don't care if I like Black Sabbath's guitarist or Led Zeppelin's drummer. I want these people together because they make beans and rice look so good.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you can hear that when a band clicks like that.
Yeah. Like it gives me goosebumps, man. Like it's worse than like novellas and like soap operas. Like if something happens, I'm like, please, Lord, I don't ask for much, but please let these people stay together. Please.
I don't know why I thought about the guy in the bumblebee suit. Oh wait, that's The Simpsons, huh? The telenovelas.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, he does also the car wash commercials. So what is a typical rehearsal like for you guys? You mentioned earlier that you do lyrics, songwriting, as well as, guitars, things. But do you all participate in all aspects of the music and the songwriting, or do you have your different roles?
Well, we all write our own parts. Mm-hmm. And then Dustin writes most of the songs. I've contributed a couple, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so usually I can't if I try to write a song, it's not going to happen. Like if I say, okay, I'm going to sit down and write a song today, let me get my guitar and a piece of paper. No. So usually how it happens is I'll just be at my house watching TV and then pick up the guitar and just start mindlessly playing some chords or like trying to come up with a riff or whatever, and until I hear something that catches my ear. And then when that happens, usually I'll record it on my phone and then set it aside, listen to it in my car later, and then try to hear like a vocal melody. And then after that, then come up with some lyrics. Now, the process is always different, but this is kind of how it happens most of the time. Rarely do I have like a lyric or melody in my head and then come up with the guitar part. It's usually always starting with guitar and then I'll write the song. And then I'll bring it to practice and show them, play it for them, and they'll come up with their parts. That's usually how it works.
And sometimes we have some feedback on the structure. Sometimes
I'll ask questions like, "What do y'all think here? Or what should we do here?"
But most of the time they're pretty much done, really.
Yeah, for the most part, just little tweaks here and there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what about for you, sir?
He bangs on stuff.
Yeah, I just show up and bang on the drums, and I got the easy role, I think. I'll give feedback as far as what I think, song like dynamics need. Like, maybe we should pause here, stop at this measure, and then come back on this, and don't play any guitar here, and then maybe hold that out. Like just little notes like that. But I don't really play guitar much myself either, so my input can only go so far.
It's funny you mentioned that. I almost asked you that the other day. I was like, Jason, have you started playing guitar at all? No.
I played years ago, but I've never really picked it up. So I know some basic open chords and things like that. But guitar is definitely not my main instrument for sure. Okay.
I'm always curious because, out of all the instruments, I think I'm the most ignorant when it comes to percussion, probably because I don't have much rhythm, I'm woman enough to admit it. But hey, it is what it is,
Yeah, same here.
Bassist, percussionist, I have a lot of respect for y'all, but you're guitarists too, and you do vocals and guitar. Sir, okay, I need to know the secret because you got the melody here, you got the melody in your head. My goodness,
How do you do it?
It is, it's
and
tough.
I play harmonica now.
Oh yeah, we
snap.
have a new song. He's got a little Bob Dylan harmonica thing.
Oh snap! Seriously,
I don't really play, but I did get some harmonicas for Christmas, and I'm using one on this new song.
Oh,
We're not playing it today, but yeah.
Yeah. So this isn't on here originally, but I'm an asthmatic person, so playing any kind of wind instruments is like not gonna happen. But do you do anything, or are you thinking about anything like, or even with your vocals now, exercises you do to maintain your vocals keeping healthy?
No. I probably should. The thought has crossed my mind. New Year's resolution. There you go. Maybe I'll look into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Because your voice is an instrument, but no.
Okay.
Whiskey and cigarettes. Keep that raspiness.
That's right.
Put some lime in there too, really, good antibody, whatever, something, anything. I don't know, something. Food for thought. So how would y'all say that you prepare for a studio session or a live performance, or is it about the same process?
We practice.
A lot.
That's about it.
No, we practice like once a week. Yeah, at that, lately it's been very sporadic because people got sick. He had COVID. I had COVID.
You got a new job.
Had a new job.
I got a new job within the last year too.
Schedules have been crazy trying to work it out, but we work it out. And but as far as for a show goes, we'll just try to figure out how long of a set is it going to be, and then try to do the set list. We got around 20 something songs now, so you got to cut some out, so we'll figure out what the set list is and then just practice them, over and over till we're comfortable.
Yeah. How do you decide what kind of set list you want to do that night? Is it just what you're feeling that night, songs you really want to listen to?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, we don't wait till the night of to figure out the set list. We'll plan it before, but
1 or 2 whole days.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
I don't know. Just kind of go by feel.
Okay.
Really. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right on, man.
Yeah.
We started being a band like right in the middle of COVID, so we really haven't played a whole lot of shows. What, we played 3 shows, something like that?
Yeah, the live stream, and then we had a show at Bohemios and a show at Leon's Lounge, and that's it. And we got this show coming up
after this podcast comes out.
Right.
So.
Okay.
But if you do have a time machine, January 20th,
yeah,
Black Magic Social Club with Jane Woe.
Yeah. So
it went great, by the way, to the audience.
I like it. So you guys released some demos online on Bandcamp, including Devil's Grip, Reigns, and Witch Hunter. So can you tell us more about these projects?
Yeah. So Devil's Grip, I had this chord progression for a little bit, and I couldn't come up with any vocal melody for it. And then one day I just slowed down what I was playing. I played the same chords, but just slowed it down. And I had been watching some crime shows. I'm always usually watching some true crime stuff. And I started coming up with the lyrics for it. The song is basically about a guy breaking out of prison and things not going his way and things like that. So it's like Devil's Grip, blah, blah, blah. How's it go? Devil's Grip feels like death row, this and that, Just got to listen to the song. But so, and then what's the other ones?
Reigns.
So Reigns, a lot of people like it from what I hear.
That seems to be our most popular song.
Yeah. With that one, again, I came up with the progression, and then at the time it seemed like just a lot of stuff was going on in my life, like car broke down, or job was sucking, this and that. So that's kind of what that song is about. Like, when it rains, it pours. Never seen rain like this before. Blah 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 blah. That's part of the chorus. And then the other one is called Witch Hunt. That one I kind of came up with the chord progression and the lyrics at the same time. It didn't really take me long on that one. I had kept seeing Trump on the news, and he kept using the word witch hunt, and I was like, I like that word, and then
two words.
Well, I like those words together. And then I don't know, I just went home one night. I had been drinking or whatever, and then I started playing, and then it happened. That one happened pretty quick. They're not all, it's always different, but that's how that one happened.
Yeah, sometimes those moments just happen where like the inspiration is just,
you got to capture it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
I think you and Kid Rock are the only musicians who've ever been inspired by Donald Trump.
Well, I hate to admit it, but
maybe some Toby Keith in
I'm
there.
not going to say I was inspired by him, but
Kinda did.
I guess. Thanks, Donald.
So, what was the process like for recording these songs and mixing these songs? Like, was it something like took a couple months, maybe for individual projects, or a couple weeks?
I think it was a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nah.
It was 2 days.
couple days.
At Scott's?
No, she's talking about the ones on Bandcamp, the ones you did.
Oh.
The other ones aren't even out there.
Oh, I didn't even know those are the ones you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
How did we do that?
You got the Zoom.
Yeah, it was a little Zoom R24 multi-track recorder. And, you know that I went to school a long time ago. I didn't retain any of that, obviously. So I just bought this 24 track and started recording stuff. I didn't really even mix it. I just mixed the levels. There's no EQ on there. Yeah, that was it. I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah,
I didn't know that's what was on Bandcamp.
Yeah, it's been on there for like over a year. Anyways,
Welcome.
So we recently recorded 3 songs with a friend of ours named Scott Ayers. He's in a band with another friend of ours. And so we're going to this year try to do a record. And he's been recording stuff for a long time and he knows what he's doing. But Jared also recently got some new recording stuff. So
I got a new laptop with Logic, so
Nice.
reinvigorate my old audio engineering interests.
And the only way to do it is to do it, sir. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, you should have heard don't listen to my mixes a year ago. Please don't listen to my mixes a year ago, okay? Because they were something else.
But see, at least you've gotten better. See, my mixes from 20 years ago were better than what I'm doing now. I've totally regressed.
Well, do you think that was just because maybe you were in a different place in your life at that time, like more inspiration,
Probably. I think you could say that about anyone who's young and they're way more inspired, but I was also doing it every day too,
Yeah. You didn't have a 9 to 5. You didn't have families of your own, those other responsibilities that take away from the creative time.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, so how do you guys maintain now, now that, you've been doing this so long, but even with a little gap, you able to come back to your passion of music. So how do you guys find time, try to maintain?
Just all coincide a day off, really. That's it. I mean,
yeah, pretty much just what day are you off work this week? And, when can we get together and what time? And, that's pretty much it.
we don't have much social lives. This is all we do. This is our free time. So.
it's true.
But but isn't that time well spent? Because
Absolutely.
the time that you have free, you're spending doing something you love with people you love,
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if I had y'all's talent, I'd be jamming with people too, and I mean, I just don't think anybody wants to listen to, cats dying in an alley.
Yeah. Well, let's not get crazy and call us talented,
We haven't played yet, so
Yeah. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
the cart before the horse here.
Okay, no, I'm very eager, and I'm sure I'm gonna love it. So, speaking about projects, so I saw that you guys posted on Instagram not too long ago a new track called Karma. Can you tell us?
Bad Karma.
Bad Karma, forgive me. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That is a new one.
Jared?
I guess I got to talk because I came up with the initial idea for that song. I'd actually recorded that like right when I first started playing again, before I even talked to Dustin about being in a band. I got I picked up a bass again and a Moog, and I was actually originally it was kind of an electronic song. It was just this bass line and like a couple of tracks of this Moog matriarch I had, and I just put it on the shelf. It was like even when we started playing, like that was just kind of my side project thing, my little electronic thing. And then Dustin one day was like, "Hey, send me any song ideas you have." I was like, "Well, I got this," and then we just totally restructured the song. Like we the only original parts of the bass line, really, and we threw out the Moog parts, and he played guitar, and we kind of kept that same feel because there's a phaser on the guitar. We kind of keep it that spacey kind of atmosphere to it.
Yeah, when he sent me his little bass line he had come up with and recorded, he had it like you use a phaser or whatever. You use a phaser.
I used a phaser on the bass, and then it was
I don't
too.
know. It sounded real spacey.
Yeah.
So that's how I came up with the idea for the lyrics or whatever.
Okay.
And then as far as the name of the song goes, then we had practiced it and played it, and we were like, well, what are we going to call this one? And then there's a movie that we all like. It's called The Burbs with Tom Hanks. I don't know. It's an 80s movie.
I forget that's where the song.
And there's a line in the movie where he goes, in Southeast Asia, we call this sort of thing bad karma. And Jason said that, after we were playing it, and I was like, okay, let's just call it that then. And it has nothing to do with the song, but.
And listeners, if you've not seen The Burbs, do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks, Carrie Fisher, who's the old guy? What's his
Bruce
name?
Dern.
Bruce Dern. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Corey
Watch it.
Feldman, you can't forget
Corey
about him.
Feldman's in the movie. That's right.
Yeah, I don't know if any of y'all know these actors, but I know all except one of those actors. So yeah, I made my debut late in the 80s, but I made it just in time to appreciate the
There you
80s.
go.
So
Better late than never.
Yeah.
exactly. So how has your creative workflow changed since your first ever recording or your first time playing with each other?
It hasn't really changed a whole lot because, like I said,
We're not evolving.
I mean, every now and then we'll just jam out or whatever. I don't think any songs have come from that. I have some recordings on my phone that I keep meaning to go back and like listen to from practice, from us just kind of improvising or whatever. But nothing's really come of it yet.
Okay.
But maybe. You
Okay.
never know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right.
Until then,
You're right. Yeah. No.
Until then, the process has just been me writing a song and then bringing it to the table, but we might get there, as far as coming together.
And that's kind of strange because most of the bands I've been in before, at least half the ideas come from jamming.
Yeah.
We're not a jam band. We're not the Grateful Dead, apparently.
No,
Oh.
but we had one last practice. I might come up with something with that. We'll see.
I can't remember it. I hope you recorded
I
it.
sent
That
it to
right
y'all.
there is pretty much the reason why it's like, I can't remember.
Yeah.
We do come up with a lot of good ideas jamming. We just don't retain it. That's
You're musicians, and we love you for it, but y'all are not the pen and paper type unless, of course, you're writing lyrics or, maybe melodies, but not all musicians write notes. You usually do tabs, and sometimes y'all don't even do tabs. You're just like, let my hands talk, please. So.
Yeah, well, these days, I guess it's like, record it on your phone and then
Yeah.
we'll listen back to it later.
Yeah.
even then we get in a habit of now, in case we can't figure out what we're playing, we'll be like, it's E G D F. We have to say it into the mic. Was that a little loud? I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine.
That's how it sounds in the phone, but you have to remind yourself what notes you're playing too.
Yeah. I mean, going to San Jack and taking classic guitar and piano and learning how to read sheet music was like a game changer for me.
Yeah.
Like, it seems weird, but I don't like reading tabs. Maybe y'all can appreciate this, especially because y'all are bass and percussion. I can't tell the dynamics with the tabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I know if I'm supposed to go up or like it's supposed to carry? Like, I don't know that. I don't do Morse code. What is this? Like,
That's kind of funny because I can read sheet music.
Yeah.
And I can read tabs too, but I don't ever do either of them really. I've always, ever since I started playing, I just kind of play by ear,
I get it. You got rhythm of the soul. Okay. Brag. Rub it in.
You said it, not me.
So y'all were mentioning earlier that you played some live shows over at Leon's Lounge and Bohemios. So how was the shows over there? What was the feedback like?
It was fun. It was,
Yeah,
I mean,
Bohemios, I guess, was our first live show. So we did the food bank live stream that our friend put together, but Bohemios was our first live show, and it was outdoors on their little patio, and it was really cold that night, and so being a drummer too, like my hands are like kind of numb and trying to hang on to sticks, and it just that made it a little difficult. But honestly, once you get going, it's fine. But I thought it was pretty fun. It was a good turnout. I think there was a band from Austin that got double booked, and so we ended up I guess the lady organized it to where all we played as well as our friend Erin and her band Jane Woe played as well, and they added on this band from Austin as well, and they got to play last. And but the turnout was really good, and it was really nice to see for our first show. So that was a lot of fun.
yeah, someone who's played a lot of first shows, that was a good one. Normally your first show is like 5 people. But
And there was no technical difficulties. Sound was good, you know?
Oh, yeah, sounds great. I didn't play great, but, you know.
Oh, hush. Whatever. I don't buy
was
that for a
cold.
second. Yeah. Rhythm of the soul. Get out of here. You could be on a train, like literally on a train, moving train, and y'all still sound amazing. Shush.
You're being too kind.
Too kind.
Way too kind.
No. I mean, when y'all are musicians and you take it as a passion, like literally nothing can stop you from jamming. It is like, you know, you're like wizard, warlocks, whatever you want to call it, just like, and it just comes out and, man, you know, I'm a big music head, so yeah.
I would equate us to more like card tricks, maybe, you know, warlock, but thank you.
Absolutely, man. And so today you're going to be blessing us with a exclusive acoustic performance of your song Home. So can you tell us more about that song?
Yeah, this is a song I'd come up with, and originally the lyrics were different. I'd written the lyrics about, like, there was this shooting in Vegas where this guy he killed a bunch of people at a concert. I don't know if you remember that incident.
Yes, Wrestler Souls.
Yeah, so I had written all these lyrics, and I played the song for Jared. This is when me and him were just jamming together, and he liked it, but he was like, but the lyrics are a little too literal. And so I played it for my friend Matt too, and he said the same thing. So I like the guitar like part on it or whatever, but I shelved the song because something wasn't right, you know. So I shelved it, and then one night I was just practicing, messing around at home, and the first word that came out when I was playing it was home, and then the lyrics just came from there, and that's how it ended up. The chorus was the same, but the verse lyrics changed.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a little less literal, and mentions nothing about, you know, that incident or whatever.
But it's incredible how, you know, it's like y'all as artists, you know, you can take a moment that is just so, however you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? And you find a way to immortalize that moment, express the feelings in the music. And it's not just talking about this literal horrible stuff happening,
Right.
but somehow kind of trying to give it some kind of memorial in a sense. Like that's powerful, man.
So yeah, it's one of our slower, sad jams, but I like it.
I like it, man. And I look forward to hearing it. Ooh-wee. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today, man.
No, thank you, Missy. It's been fun.
Mm-hmm.
Right on, man. Thank you guys, man.
All right.
So is there any last bit of advice y'all have for the listeners before we get to the performance?
Avoid the clap.
I think you said it all.
You can edit that out.
There's free clinics, okay? We don't have universal health care, but there is free clinics, okay? If you know somebody that needs somebody, Google a provider today.
We'll put out a number.
Okay? Not really, but we'll say we did. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. And don't go away. We'll be right back with an exclusive performance by Dead Blind's acoustic performance of their song, Home. Thank you, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.
We're Dead Blinds from Houston, Texas. This song is called Home.
Home hasn't quite been the same since you've been gone. Will the feeling ever go away? Home, I can still see your face. I gotta stay strong. store.